All these birds are actually around me right now. It's like we look out here a little bit more. It's like it's a whole bunch of them, though. That's why I wanted to start the camera off like that. What's going on, everybody? I'm back in the building. Let me sit down here, have some chat service with y'all. You know, talk about some things going on in the community. This is community section of the program. That we told, well, they got that motherfucker, didn't they? You guys gonna have to excuse me tonight. I ain't got no mic right now because what's the name went dead. So if you can hear me, you can hear me. If not, I apologize. So Derek Chauvin, that's how it's really said in French. Chauvin. He was today convicted to 22 years of prison. 22 and a half years of prison, to be correct. And he'll be 67 years old when he gets out of jail. And I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that. Now, what I'm not so keen on is what are the repercussions of this going on. Now, he's eligible for parole in about 15 years, all right? But 15 years will come and go, you know, unless you're like 15 or 16 years old, you don't realize that. But 15 years will come and go like that. 5 years will come and go like that, you know? That's why Drake now finds himself on the same receiving end that when he first came in. You know what I mean? They consider Drake old now. You know what I mean? And that's why I know these motherfuckers out their mind. They're almost like vampires for youth. You know what I mean? Suck at this. But be it that it may, he was gonna try to get a retrial. Now I don't know if this was prevented or not. I didn't hear it in the language so far. Within the whole diatribe of Derek Chauvin or whatever. And I don't know what may hold bear true, you understand? But what I do know is, prior to today, and that's why I waited before I started this, prior to today, I didn't hear nobody talking about this. I didn't hear anybody having anticipation. I didn't have anybody caught, you know, gathered around the usual campfire on YouTube. None of that. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see a motherfucker. Everybody's only there when the photo op is there. When the photo op is there, that's when everybody's there. When the vid op is there, that's when everybody's there. There was none, but the people in Minnesota, they were there. It should have been plain fools of motherfuckers. Puff your motherfucking ass should have been out there. I don't know what happened to you. You used to know how to do PR. You fucking suck at it now. Like, you're like some Ritz-Carlton ass type motherfucker now, man. What the fuck, man? What happened to you, Skinny? Skinny, what happened to you? God damn. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, why wasn't like a bang full of rappers, basketball players, everybody, just outside this whole Senate hearing with Mother Fletcher and the two other survivors from the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre? Why wasn't there more people today outside? It should have been more people out there today for the sentencing, if y'all don't understand what I'm saying. It should have been more people out there, in my opinion, for the sentencing rather than the whole fucking trial. You understand what I'm saying? You sit back and see what the results are from the trial and what direction it's heading, if anything. But and you show your support via whatever vehicle you have, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, and you show your support like that. I mean, that's temporary support, but it's still notoriety support, and it's respected. We've got people out here that are literally, for some reason or another, not understanding where they're at mentally in this whole diatribe, and that's the perspective I want to take out of this whole Derek Chauvin thing. I heard a gentleman today, and he was on the news, and he was interviewed out there. And, you know, this is the Midwest, so he had a very strong Midwestern kind of countryist accent. But I understood and I could articulate enough what he was saying. And when I was listening to what he was saying, well, yeah, it's a victory or whatever. They would have had a preference if this cocksucker, and I haven't said it just like that, would have got 30 or 45 years, or maybe a little more. And I understand that. I can understand that. I mean, this is deliberate, you know? And I think any of those people that are out this attacking people to be attacking people, you motherfuckers should see no light. I mean, all the grocery store shooters, all your people that go around in your own neighborhoods and bother people, whatever. there should be some type of repercussion for that, I think. And you can put this whole Derek Chauvin thing and put it in perspective and say, okay, well, this is a victory. It is not a victory. And in fact, it's just the first officer that's going to put up some type of, I don't know if he's going to get a retrial. That's what I'm telling you guys. So say if he gets a retrial, right? And he wins the fucking retrial. What then? All your celebratory posture is now gone, you know? And it's back to you guys, you know, having yourself embedded within rap culture. Like, motherfuckers are trying to live rap lyrics. Who, this TK Kirkland, who raised these niggas? Like, I don't understand it. It's all semblance and symbology versus actual reality. You know what I mean? And that semblance shit is not gonna get you far. It's not gonna get you far. They're gonna watch. It's gonna be a time where there's gonna be a certain percentage of people in the African American community and Latin community that are just gonna be perished. I know that sounds fucked up. There's gonna be some poor white ones too, but I'm just focusing on those two, if you understand what I'm saying. For obvious reasons. You know what I mean? So does that make sense? You know? You're gonna see it happen. You're gonna see it happen. It's gonna hit them like a whirlwind. I've seen and heard of rappers selling their possessions because they run out of money, auctioning off their things because they run out of money, and all kinds of other shit. Now give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this and I'm gonna keep on going. Just give me 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Let everybody know I was live. There's been times in society, and I don't know if people dismiss this or whatever, where complete societies destroy themselves. And they destroy themselves either from greed, they destroy themselves from war, they destroy themselves from disease and warning of disease, but fully being saturated in it. Some people will point to Caligula's period for this, when he was torturing people sexually and sodomizing them. Some people will point to this in a period with the Romans, when the Romans were having homosexual sex. I mean, some people will say they're the architects of it, you know what I mean? You know, but it stands to reason that for one reason or another, I mean, even George Washington had syphilis. Even up to that period and beyond, you will see societies or cultures or countercultures, or even what you call a club and its members dismantle, disband, or whatever. If you need proof of that, look no further than Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt, he was a destructioning form of what you call the secret societies, because Adam, they found him with the letter from the Illuminati. You know, only certain people know that. I'm not the one to talk about that. I don't care. Yeah. They're watching you and they're giving you trinkets to destroy yourself. Now, this is a victory, don't get me wrong. But what about the 40-something that get killed every weekend, it seems, in Chicago? What about the 20-plus something in a week that's happening in New York City? What about the 30 or so plus that are happening in Detroit, happening in Maryland, happening in Miami, all these places I've been to? I know what the makeup is. West Side, Baltimore, all that. I've been through all of them. Got pictures, put them up, you know. The behavior that's out here is crazy. Now, I know y'all don't want to hear me talk about this, and that's what I want to talk about with Derek Chauvin. I want to talk about a couple other things, but I wanted to make sure I gave that recognition just for the people, you know, because I could have been George Floyd. Some of my friends, some of my family members, some people that I don't even know. I'm walking past and I see a guy getting George Floyd, you know what I mean? Let me talk to you about some shit. Now, I put up a video earlier. And don't I know how to call this shit, or do I know how to call this shit? Give me my star and give me my motherfucking credit. Do I know how to call this shit, or do I know how to call this shit? And I'm gonna put up a screenshot for y'all To show y'all proof, and trust me, I'm gonna do it. To show y'all proof that the same motherfuckers every day come and dislike my video. Let me tell you how far they went today. Earlier, y'all saw me put up a comment. I said the 12 people that came here and disliked this video, y'all bored with y'all life. So what they did was, instead of doing that, they went back and made it exactly 12 people. Now it's 8. You understand what I'm saying? 8 dislikes instead of the 12 it initially was. Childlike behavior. But this is a group of people doing this. This is what you got to understand. So these group of people, let's say it's 12 of them, and these 12 people have kids, right? These 12 people now have kids. They're going to turn into adults, and they're going to procreate with somebody. Now, let's say they have 1 or 2 kids. Now they're instilling the same value system that they previously had themselves. Their mother was an example of it, or father, and now they're passing on to another generation. Now you have generational rucking rot. That's what you have. You have generational rot. It's about time some people start calling it for what the fuck it is. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And this doesn't just pertain to someone that lives in the projects. Let me tell you something. I met some of the most wonderful, sincere, honest motherfuckers in the housing projects. I'll bet you that much. The most honest people I've ever met in my life in housing projects, prison, and fucking Italians. Most honest people I've ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? Most honest people I've met in my life. Let me tell you something about that when I say this. Those people, they understand the mechanism of survival, but they also don't understand the mechanism of getting up and getting out. However they got to do it. However they got to have the good moments. However they got to have everybody happy. They're inclusive, usually inclusive of everybody. You know what I mean? So let's not make a mistake of that. Now, I'm talking about the destructive motherfuckers, and some of them sitting, I don't know, $2 million, $3 million homes nowadays. Got deals, galore, whatever. The best thing they could do is give you their ass kiss and flaunt what they bought with their money. Now, we're not saying that you can't buy shit with your money. But my nigga, why are you sitting up here and it's a fucking pandemic going on? Right now is the time to get your game in. Right now is the time to be philanthropic. Right now is the time to be like, yo, what the people need. Right now is to take your political power, just like a lot of other people in the sectors I watch and I pay attention to are mumbling the same thing that I was saying about our governor here. Now, I'm not saying specifically our governor. I'm sure there's some senators involved or whatever, but there's some congressmen across the nation in each different constituency. But make a note for that sake of this. Sailor Moon. Yeah, I'm gonna say your name. Sailor Moon. If this is a grown woman, you have to understand the complexity of somebody actually making a fucking profile, spelling out and calling themselves Sailor Moon, hiding behind a cartoon emoji as an avatar, and commencing to pretend that she's a nice person. But behind it, I always know a slick motherfucker when I see one. And I hate when people get upset with me when I call out that motherfucker. Oh, my daddy taught me well. I know how to sniff a snick motherfucker in 2 minutes. Certain mechanisms you gotta look for on those motherfuckers. And it's a certain octave in their voice. I know when you're up to some bullshit. I just want to see what bullshit you up to and because you're worthy of taking your ass down for it. Because that's the part you're not gonna see coming. Always tell them, I told them since I was younger, always been the same size. So you learn how to work with it. Let me tell you something, guys. This girl or guy, I can't tell by the email, you motherfucker, you got slick. This girl or guy was here probably, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 months ago on my channel, right? And I knew something was funny because this person kept pointing out the fact from day one, I'm gonna donate. I said, okay, whatever. Wasn't no press. I never pressed nobody to donate to me, nothing like that. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Month passed by, 2 months passed by, 3 months have now passed by. And she's now between those 3 months said this about 4 or 5 more times. And I'm like, well, shorty, are you saying this because you want somebody to pay attention to you? And I said, yeah, that's what it is. I already knew, because I know this trend, how people get on people's pages that are popular or whatever, and then they want to piggyback. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want to, chick. I got 68,000 views this month, and I didn't even do no work. You know what I'm saying? Really, not what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm making this announcement right now, so y'all understand what I'm talking about. So, you know, listen to me, because this shit gonna make real good sense to y'all. So, this girl or guy kept on and continued to say the same thing up until about a month ago, if y'all not familiar. And so I said, finally, I just called it out. I said, shorty, why you keep talking about you gonna donate for it? Like, you saying other shit too, but, and all between it, she had something like 148 comments she had made on my page. It'll show you a history of how many messages they have sent. You know what I'm saying? On the YouTube Studio app. So I checked it and I was like, oh shit, this shit can comment. And every, I say 10 or 15 comments, it was the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Whether that be the span of a day, a week, month, whatever. That's what the fucking comment kept on literally reiterating itself at the same time. Oh, I'm gonna do. I said, all right, cool, whatever. Finally, when I respond and I say, well, shorty, why you keep telling me you're gonna donate and all this shit, whatever. I mean, here's the links if you want to donate, you know what I'm saying? So she said, nah, I wanted you to set up Zelle. I said, I'm not setting that shit up on my phone. I've had that Zelle shit on my phone. It does not work good with Samsung phones unless you got the Samsung store. And when you download it off the Samsung store, it needs so many updates consistently that fucking it's just too much, you know? Like, I don't need that much. Like, the app keeps on collecting data in the background, even if the damn thing's off. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go back, clean it out, clear it out, then get back a gig or something in 2 days. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a hassle. So I refused to download that on my phone. I wasn't doing it. She then took it upon herself to start this whole fucking regular diatribe, or the regular, who's that? Hey, Annette Foster, what's going on, Chi-Town? Listen to this. You got to listen to this, because I know you saw that upload I did earlier. It's crazy because she went into this whole diatribe of she was educated and all this shit, whatever. She just got an MBA. And I said, congratulations, short. I went to college too. Half the people I work with, if not most of them, went to college as well. And they make way more money than you do. I can guarantee you. They make more money than the average. Are you a millionaire? I'm a millionaire? No. So, you know, that ends up right there. What this chick was trying to do, once she made that comment, I realized, oh, you trying to prove some shit. So I automatically know motherfuckers like this, because I've been around motherfuckers like this since I was young. I worked with them. You think you cocky? Ain't nobody more cocky than a motherfucker pulling up with a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Then you're like, yo, I don't want this shit. Give me the motherfucking what's your name? Give me the Bentley. You ever been around and witnessed that shit a couple times? Every time? That's different. Money most of these motherfuckers talking about is being servants. I ain't with that being servant shit. I'm a boss. I know I'm on my own too. That's the best thing you can recognize as being a boss or anything else. You are always on your own. Even if you hire niggas, you on your own. They're only loyal to the dollar. Only loyal to the dollar. Now you will find those other ones that are with you. You get about 5 of them, maybe 10 if you're real good. They'll go to the bone with you. But the rest of them motherfuckers ain't for hire. Anybody tells you different, they shoot smoke up your ass. Exactly. Shout out to Arizona. I'm always in Arizona. Now motherfuckers be like, yeah, yo, they got a beer. You know, they saw all kinds of corny shit. Children. It's like motherfucking a child. So this child got back on my page and I blocked her. I was just tired of hearing shit. She made another page or whatever, came in, and many of y'all know, when I was on my live the other night, y'all saw that, witnessed that when she came in and called the shit bad boy section and took a picture of her. So I took a screenshot of the shit before I blocked her. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew this was the motherfucking what's the name when it comes to tribe. And I know what I'm gonna have to do, because if that persists after this letter she wrote me, this damn little letter that y'all saw me post, I said, I wanted to say, bitch, I'll sue you, but I didn't do that. I will sue you though, for defamation of character. I will sue you for a lot of things. You wrote me a note and said, yo, this is what's going down. Said my birthday wrong, said all kinds of shit wrong. I'm like, yo, you know nothing about me. You taking what you've heard in my videos and think you got to build to me. No, sweetie, it doesn't work that way. I'm a bad boy. We move with silence, not violence. Most of the time. Let me tell you something. A lot of people try to figure you out, you know what I mean? Based on attributes they've seen in other motherfuckers that they know. Now, I just made a mention earlier, and I said I know a slick motherfucker, because that's a mechanic order of shit. But, and that has to do with aggression, passive aggression, and shit like that, whatever. And sometimes that can't just be pertain to someone that has an agenda. You know, this woman had an agenda, and I called it out on the video. That's the whole thing. It's still on video here on YouTube. Why I called it out. So it's not like we're making up things or we're exaggerating or whatever. And I'm just like, this pompous, low self-esteem, probably haggly looking motherfucking broad. But like a good man that I am, I started thinking broad. Because I like I said, got an IQ. And for this chick that within her letter I guess it was an attempt to try to tear down my confidence or some shit like that. I think that's the thing that a lot of women like this go for, specifically black women in this segment of the population of black women. They go for these little 4th grade and 5th grade pundums that like do nothing to me. Bitch, I'm good looking. I don't have to literally, I don't have to put much effort into getting vacay. I don't have to put much effort into getting chicks. Where the next motherfucker, I've been in situations where the next motherfucker is spending thousands of dollars. I get the situation for free. And the bonus, and the room, and hey, what you doing for the rest of the weekend? Well, this motherfucker in the bar has spent thousands of dollars. I'm like, thank you, sir. Oh, I don't play checkers and I don't play chess. I play mahjong. I always got 2 or 3 partners with me. Who the fuck is playing chess and checkers? That's a simple man's game. Learn how to play mahjong. It took me 2.5 years to learn how to play mahjong. Chess and checkers. Even somebody gives that fucking analogy anymore, you should consider them a normal motherfucker. Because they borrowed that off of somebody else they heard say it. Oh, he playing chess, not checkers. Let me tell you why these motherfuckers like her are so predictable. And many other people that frequent my channel, including when I looked at it again today, all the things you can learn on YouTube. I learned how to take that app a little bit even further. Yes, I did. I didn't even know it had more features. Now I can see more specific shit. So it was one motherfucker, let me break it down for y'all. It was one motherfucker that made 4 fucking profiles, including 2 of them that they haven't used yet. But they're all under the same email. Okay? Now, all these emails were made of recent, so it wasn't like they were 6 months ago, a year ago, 7 years ago, like many of them are. And they only got 3 or 4 followers or some shit like that. This chick made the mention, she said, you got 6,000 plus followers and you only had so many people on your live. I said, what the fuck is better than you? You ain't even got that. You know why? Because nobody gives a fuck what you have to say, ma'am, sir. Nobody in normal life, nobody online life gives a fuck what you have to say. And you know why nobody gives a fuck what you have to say? I'm going to tell you why. Because you are afraid to be yourself. Many of these motherfuckers don't know that they're I see it, and people that been in the situation I've been and been around the type of, I don't know, area of business I've been in with the music industry and shit like that, you know big money when you see it. Big money don't always shout. The little money shout. Big money stay quiet. You know what I'm saying? So I know a fraud when I hear one, see one, whatever, real quick. Nigga, I work for Diddy. I didn't work for motherfucking Krispy Kreme donuts. She said, you this mad because I'm more accomplished than you. How, Sway? I said, this motherfucker's crazy. Probably talking to me from the 5th floor of the projects. Chick, I'm fucked up and I still live by the motherfucking the water. My neighborhood quiet, city clean, good people here for the most part. What about where you live? She had made another entrance into the conversation earlier, and she had said, I'm not gonna make this all about it because I'm gonna move on. And she had made another entrance to the conversation, and she said it one time. She said, and I want to say this right, people that are really homeless, that's what she said, really homeless. I said, bitch, let me tell you something. You working for those services, let me tell you something. If anybody had heard that woman say that in services or whatever, because she claimed she was going to report me to somebody, so let me break that down too real quick. First of all, broad, donations are tax deductible. First of all, for the receivee and the person giving. Second of all, you talk about, I went to your GoFundMe. My GoFundMe does not have $700 at all. My GoFundMe raised me $700-something, which I ended up having to buy a coat and everything else, and just out of the months or whatever, that's what it was. All right? 3, I never hop on this motherfucker asking, begging anybody to donate to me. Usually, I can go probably an hour or 2 hours within my broadcast, and I'm not saying anything about any GoFundMes or PayPals or Cash Apps or anything else. Anybody that watches me consistently knows that. I'll wait till the end, or one of my subscribers will always tapping in on the check. Oh, okay, that chicken talking. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, that broad. So I'm just like, yo, this Sailor Moon chick is like lunar. Now, really, to behold to you, this is probably some chick that's at home. She might have worked in this before, but she probably got a kid or 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? If it's a dude, he's probably just some fucking fluke. You know what I mean? Rainbow nigga. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a boyfriend or something. I don't know, but I don't know where y'all got all this energy to put into that shit, where there's so many other things happening around you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna tell you this to Sailor Moon or whatever the fuck. I don't know why you picked me, but one of my speculations is you work for the people here in the city. Would make sense, and I'll tell you why I say that. Wherever you're at and you upload a video or whatever, even if you don't have the GPS on or whatever, YouTube grabs your topography. And what I mean by geography, and what I mean by that and topography, both of them. So meaning if you write it in the script, it's based on your searches, it's based on a whole bunch of different other things, whatever to go into play, collected on your phone, and then they designate it for that specific area. So meaning if I'm here, the chances of me coming up in the filters or recommendations or whatever for people here, because that's been entered on my phone, there's information or something, say I signed up for something, and they asked for my zip code, you know what I'm saying? That's what they put into it. So it made me figure when I saw the attitudes of a lot of those people change, they must have got wind to my page. Hey, I've told y'all to y'all face now. Hold on 1 second, I want to make this clear. Let me let this go, let me get this sponsor by. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. I want to make this clear. I don't have a problem with those particular people in mention as previous. Let me make that clear. Let me make it even more clear. Those gentlemen and women went beyond the means to go and oblige and help me out. That would include Rob. That would include George. That would include little Shorty Sita. I forgot what her name is. That would include many others there. Okay? This is the thing. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I do, though, suffer from one thing, and that's lack of being a motherfucking dummy. Lack of being a dummy. When you put myself in the question, you ask me, why would I go on YouTube? Why would I have videos and everything like that? You're not taking into perspective that I have been through 1, 2, 3 facilities, all right? 3 of them. I'm gonna read your comment in a second. I just want to keep thought. 3 facilities, all right? 3, 1, 2, 3. I traveled across straight and went to another one. None of those people were able to fulfill what those people I just mentioned did in a short amount of time. Shout out to Muhammad too. But that's a possibility. They could be from there or one of the surrounding agencies around here. You put them people on hit to what I'm saying. And what I'm saying to you is, it's nothing personal and it's way beyond your motherfucking caliber. No offense. What this really states is something that was said about the coronavirus relief money or stimulus money that was being given out in some cases in the first and second signing when Trump was president. Some of that money is now being dispensed across different cities and everything like that right now. So not this is the third stimulus where you got the $1,400 from, but from the two prior stimulus bills before them, there's now money being dispersed, all right? So make no mistake about it. Some of this money you see getting dispersed or whatever, like I think it's a big mistake giving all these fucking broads that went out and had like, I'm gonna go out and have a side baby. I'm not, no disrespect to nobody, but there's a lot, we all know. Come on, there's a whole bunch of chicks. You got pregnant in the back of the fucking club. You know what I'm saying? Now we supposed to feel bad or sorry for this little bastard baby you decided to have. And that's what it is. Say what it is. It's a bastard baby. Chances are you don't even know who his daddy is. And now you raising and rearing this little motherfucker. Now he's out here with everybody. Black, white, Spanish, all inclusive. It's them same little motherfuckers that's going up and shooting up the grocery stores or on a whatever floor of the Madeline Bay Hotel shooting at country music, Western music people and shooting 500 in one sitting, you know. So you know, it's a behavior. It's a behavior. You gotta have some men around. Your mama's brothers, uncles, great uncles. Somebody gotta throw football or a baseball with this little motherfucker, and that's why you're getting all these sensitive ass boys right now. They're too close in age, the mothers and the fathers. A lot of the mothers and the fathers were 11, 12, 13 years old. I know I went to fucking school with some of them, and this was a nationwide epidemic. They had fucking infomercials about it and everything else, and everybody's pretending like they forgot. They forgot. I didn't forget, and the kids that were 5, 6 years behind me went through the same epidemic. So you're talking about 5 or 6 years that's stayed consistent within American society throughout the public schools all across, and in some cases private schools all across the United States. And there was no halt put in, no prevention or whatever. And the irony of it all is we go through sex ed in 5th grade. That's why you're seeing all these little crazy motherfuckers out here. The kid is now 15, so it's a continuous cycle. So now the kid is 14 to 15, they're having a kid, and now you got a 31, 32, 33, 34-year-old grandmother. Now, in all cases, that's not bad, but in a lot of cases, it fucking is. They were kids when they had them, and now auntie, grandma, somebody raised them. Auntie, grandma, she probably 60-something years old. She should be laying around the house watching soap operas at this point or going through her last years of work or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But granny to raise their kids, so she should be relaxing, you know? Now, you got people like this now all grown up, and now they're online. You understand what I'm saying? This behavior is online. It's passive aggressive. It's microaggressive at times, how she had to build up like a Sailor Moon, had that build up or whatever. And she had probably been waiting to say that for I don't know how long. Look here, sweetie. You try to insult the college I went to. First of all, shorty, let me tell you something. I went to college too. More importantly, I worked for a record company that went through 3 record distributors, okay? So nothing you can say at the minimum, displaying the job position that you have prior, can compete with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too many people that would, and even though honestly they should because it's philanthropic work, but I don't know too many people that want to trade fucking lives with you versus me. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be cocky. Well, a little bit I am, but I'm definitely not trying to be narcissistic. It was just you based this on your emotions. And I expect women a lot of times to respond with their emotions, but not ferocity of their emotions and extremes of their emotions or whatever. And I said, this is a grown woman that has had a prolonged adolescence, still continuing and existing within her mentality. And she turns it on and turns it off. So that means she's also probably mentally fucking ill. Anytime somebody can go from completely being nice to you question their integrity and their intentions, and they flip on you like that, something was wrong with that motherfucker all the time. That was just a firecracker that needed a match. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. She built a different. I'm bullying people to donate. Okay. You've been going for a minute now. She on here now. Your 8 followers too, right? Y'all hit them like buttons. Good. Yeah, I'm talking about you, ho. I'm talking about you, ho. I'm talking about you. I didn't even see you was here. You created another profile, huh? So we got to ask the question, where are you at as you writing these comments or whatever? Remember, you responded to me. So let's talk. Are you capable of that? Or are you just like a maniac? Because you seem like a maniac. Because I know where to find you, and I could have just unblocked you and came to your page and did the same thing. Oh, hold up. You ain't got nobody to come to your page because you build fake pages and go follow people and bother people, whatever. So let's break you really down. This is your fourth time now making a profile. I had just said that there was a total of 4 profiles. You're not very bright. Where's that superior intellect? I said that at the beginning. See, you should have, you were better off, but you couldn't resist. You couldn't resist to say something. You couldn't resist to type. You couldn't resist to be seen. You just had to be seen. Huh? Everybody sees you. Go ahead. Get some flair because you can't do it by yourself. So I'm using you as an example right now. Ho, you don't even get it. You are an example. I like to point out the behavior of neurotic, mentally ill, psychotic individuals such as yourself. They get mad because you repeatedly, sweetheart, now I want you to remember, or sir, either or, I want you to remember, every last comment that you wrote comes through YouTube Studio, okay? I don't know if you know this, it's how the mechanics work. So I can go to YouTube Studio and I can see every comment in a series that you have written. And every comment in a series that you have written, you preload and preemptively and strategically, rather sloppy. And that goes to show how much I was paying actual attention to you. Because after the 3rd or 4th time, you voluntarily, and I want to underline the word voluntarily, I'm a donate. You asked me to set up Zelle. Is that correct? I still have the screenshot of that, so don't lie. So you asked me to set up Zelle. I said I wasn't going to set up Zelle. And the reason I was going to set up Zelle because it takes a lot of fucking data. And I don't have a lot of data. I film videos and shit. So I said, all right, cool, no problem. You know what I mean? Let's make the PayPal or whatever, which are totally, specifically with PayPal, you don't even need to sign up for an account. Not with my PayPal link. So you could have clicked that and did that if that were your intentions. Your intentions were to hover, sit around, see who was talking, and be a nuisance. Well, what you projected to be a nuisance, which it wasn't. And you keep typing, I'm not really reading what you're saying right now, but I will get to it. I'm sure it's full of 4th grade twattage. That's why you, yeah. That shit don't bother me. You gotta do better than that. I've been around too much of a high grade of people in my personal life and in my private life to any time pay attention to that. You can't attack my personality. You can't attack my motherfucking dignity, integrity, anything of the so forth. You just can't. It doesn't work. I mean, it really doesn't. I do want to say this to you. For you to consistently keep going on or whatever, I want you to know that I took a shot at that too. Now I want to interject and put out here the fire and the little, what's the name that you're trying to start here? First of all, as far as me and anybody donating on my page, what the fuck do you have to do with it? Second of all, you understand what I'm saying? So when you're trying to micromanage people, you micromanage black people. Master sent you. The master sent you. What master told you? You said, go up there and get them nipples. If they ain't paying the Daddy Johnson, ain't nobody on the plantation. Are you one of the overseers? We got a black slaver, y'all. We got a black slaver. Say hi to that black slaver. Oh, I'm familiar with black slavers. I don't know if any of y'all know this, but you can check this out on YouTube here. C. Lewis Henry Gates from Harvard University does all the DNA stuff and all that stuff, traits and where you may be from in Africa and all that. You've seen it, black in America, black here, black there. Your older gentleman walks with a cane. C. Lewis Henry Gates. He did a documentary and he included Puff in this one, and they did the DNA lineage of him. And unbeknownst to many of y'all, Puff actually comes from one segment of his family who were actually free people, and in fact, was later determined were actually black slavers. They owned blacks. This is a fact. A lot of people missed that. A lot of people didn't know about it. But yeah, that's the truth. I just have to point out Puff's side of the family. That's just something that was televised, but to point out rather this. You have black people and Latin people within the community, within the culture, nationally, that think they can navigate, and specifically on the social media networks of all abroad. And this is a collective effort. But what I see is that these same blacks and Latinos won't talk this way to white people, and they're scared. They won't go over to any of these far right-wing channels. Hell, I'll start sharing some of them just to go see if you put a comment there. What you think is there's no repercussions for fucking with me. You think you're crazy, motherfucker? I'll show you crazy. I'll show you crazy. You think there's no repercussions of fucking with me, but you think there's repercussions of fucking with white folks. And that, hence, is your fear factor. Well, just lucky enough for you, I know a whole bunch of Italians and Jews that can oblige you. Oh, excuse me, Greeks. I said Jews, sorry. Italians and Greeks that can oblige you. Oh, you believe me. See, one of the things that you made the mistake of, well, I ain't gonna tell you again, because then you're trying to turn it around. But you made a mistake. And that mistake allowed me to not only know where you are, but to find you if I need be. I don't want to do that. Not at least right now. You made the mention of me begging. So what are your thoughts, since you got so much to type? You still typing? What are your thoughts on many of our black constituency and elite that are now 100,000aires and millionaires? How come you ain't on that page? Oh, they're your favorites. You're a fan. You're a fan to whoever's popping. A fanatic. That's what they call it. A fanatic. Which is a sin. One of the most deadly sins in the Bible, outside of gluttony, vanity, lies the biggest one, the one you commit. These same people will be the church. That's why you gotta watch when people say, God bless you. Motherfucker, I don't know if you believe in God. And I don't know the depth of God that you believe in. So why the fuck would I accept that from you? It might be a curse. You might have demons on your back right now and don't even know it. I'm especially weary when I see certain behavior out of a motherfucker and they turn around and say, God bless you, or use God's name in a sentence. No, nothing you're doing is godly. Everything you're doing is demonic. You're a fanatic, idol. And that's why I try to tell you about these purveyors and voyeurs they have on YouTube nowadays. They pry on other people's channels and try to get some momentum for themselves. See, the only reason that somebody, and I said exactly 4, the only reason somebody will make 4 fucking profiles is because they're insane. Now, this is somebody that says they work for the city. I want y'all to remember that. This is something somebody says they work for the city. But I want to make this real clear. There have been so many times that I put up videos, I have not asked for donations. There's been so many times that I put up videos and I haven't put the link in. Or I forgot to go back and put the link in. Hell, there's about like 20 of them down below that don't have the link in. If not 20, 31 plus, they don't have the link in. So you're not going to get me with that because evidence is going to show that. 2, who the fuck are you again, once again, to try to circumnavigate my motherfucker? Like, what do you think? You think I'm a sucker? Oh, I got you. You think I'm a sucker? I just showed 8 pages of my arrest record. Do I look like a motherfucking sucker to you, nigga? They just be complaining, and joking, and saying what they're saying. You taking it like little fucking kids, man. Y'all kids. Prelonged adolescent kids. And that's what goes around the black sphere of YouTube, and the Latin sphere of YouTube, and the poor white sphere of white YouTube as well. Purity trash Motherfuckers that are nobodies get to jump online and intervene within people that look like them. And y'all give this behavior pass. I don't give this behavior pass. I'm starting to ask niggas, yo, if you're so brave, send your address. Let's really set it up. Send your address. If you a brave motherfucker like that, and you bout it, put your fucking address in there and sit there for 4 weeks. We're gonna do 4 for 4. It might be 2024. Put your address in there. And don't worry, I ain't showing up. And I don't know who would, you know? Put your address in there. Maybe somebody that watch me might not like you or something. I don't know. What I will tell you is this. Anybody that spends their time, the priority of their time, bothering their own, instead of going after far right wingers, instead of going after so many other collective groups that have now turned their back, including groups that we have advocated for in this country and helped them get through. It was Senator Maxine Waters out of California that advocated for motherfucking Latinos in the border. Okay, let's not forget that. She was a head, and let's put more emphasis into it. They don't have the amount of congressmen and senators to advocate for them. Blacks make up 38% of the fucking House of Representatives. The third one that would either come in at a smidgen is the National Latino Caucus. We only make up 6%. And that's all the delegates nationwide. You go to other different cultures, it's even smaller. So the two ruling factions in Congress and Senate are the Black National Black Caucus and all the other fogies at 138. You know, get ready to croak it. You have blacks and Latinos online and in society curling their lips, jumping at, and it's not all inclusive. That's the thing. So we gotta find tribe once again. And y'all know what I mean by that. You know, Jadena, he was trying to put it back out there, and this is the way he was presenting it, it wasn't acceptable to a lot, and I understand why. It had a lot of femininity behind it, in my opinion. You know, but he should have stayed the same after he rolled out with it. That's what fucked everybody up. Now you look like Tiger Paul. You know, I don't know. Shout out to Jadena. I never met him, but shout out to him. Black people and Latin people that are cowards in these segments, in these pockets of our culture, their voice is so loud that people are now starting to believe this is the bulk of our culture. Don't approach me talking to me ghetto. First of all, you're not going to get a ghetto response. I'm going to berate you as much as I fucking can because the pure simple fact you were presumptuous enough to think that you could talk to me like that. You were presumptuous enough to think I wasn't articulate enough to motherfucking rebuttal correctly without cursing, without anything fucking else. You were presumptuous enough to think that I didn't go to college and I haven't furthered my education since I graduated. I graduated in 2011. It is now 10 years later to date. You know what I mean? This is a position that a lot of women are taking, and that's why I said this is either a woman or a homosexual man, one of the two that's writing those comments, because a man, and specifically somebody or a woman, specifically working in the position that you claim, having the education that you claim, you said you had an MBA, which I congratulated you for, very formally, and left the comment there, which I now don't believe, because listen, I got family members that got MBAs. I got cousins that got MBAs. Shout out to my cousin Shayla. She got her own channel and has 2 books on Amazon. All right? I know what dignified women are because I have dignified women in my what's the name? I'm like my grandfather. I'm rough around the fucking edges, but trust me, I get the job done. I always do. I can't believe that you would have the motherfucking audacity to try to micromanage my life and tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm not supposed to be doing. First of all, you don't know why the fuck I'm in this position in the first fucking place. And if you did, you would have known if you would have paid attention to my videos. What you did was you grabbed a perception of your own and came to a conclusion based on the morality and the fucking ill-gotten fact that you work at an agency that caters to people of the city. And with this behavior that you're expressing online, I'm pretty sure that there's other co-workers of yours that exert the same fucking behavior. And I want to know at that point, if you work locally or whether you work here in the tri-state, how many more of these motherfuckers are. Because as this is a detail of their character, it will let me know that this is probably why half the shit ain't getting done at these facilities. And that's what I want to point out to a lot of white people as far as service. You know how many times that I go into a stat, and I'm gonna point this out to you, and I'm gonna make this glue together as we unpack this shit. You know how many times, and I know other guys are a testament for this too. I don't know how many times that I've been in a restaurant or been somewhere else, and I almost don't want to beckon at the fact that I'm gonna have to interact with a black female, and that shit can go 75-25. It's never 50-50, it's 75-25. All right? Now, these girls that they hire, when they're at the interview, when they're talking to the manager or whatever, even when they're interacting with the manager, when the manager is there or via the phone or whatever communication they use, they project one personality, right? And if y'all notice, no matter who the fuck I'm around, I always talk the fucking same. I curse, I talk openly, I don't have to make a fucking fuss about things, but this is the way I talk. And after people meet me after a while, they understand, hey, that's the way he talks. I mean nothing by it. With someone in this position making these comments online, saying that, and writing a comment saying, I just don't want people to know who I am because I work at this, that, that. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I know who you are. I'm playing dumb right now because I could really explode on you because of the audacity of who you are, actually. You know, it boggles my mind. I'm like, why? Look, if you don't want to donate, you don't donate. But what you don't have the opportunity to do is come on here and try to berate me. When I give out information for free, then most of these people that have been in the music industry would never give you, okay? I've seen people go on VLADTV. I've seen people go on Power 105. I know what you're doing when you're doing a promo run. You're always going to have those list of questions that I don't want to ask. Here's the ones you can ask. Or sometimes I leave it an open book. Most of the time, most artists nowadays, and most movie stars or whatever, from the time I started, 17 years I was in to now, don't want that to happen. They want to have a list. Now, I know y'all wondering, how does that tie into this, right? I make sure that I go into intricacies like that other people wouldn't tell you. I watch VLADTV, I watch Power 105, and many other people that, especially the ones that interview the older stars, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to my girl Tabitha Duncan from Cut Close, that I've had a relationship for years now to this day. So I get that little hustle too. They're not, I mean, now it'll probably, I don't think it'll slow down. I think it'll continue that trend for about another year and a half, because now everybody's getting back into touring. So that might be a little bit different, you know? Black people and Latin people that exert this type of behavior and they're passive aggressive to their own are some of the most this disturbing, and they need to be eliminated out of the culture, honestly. I think they should have their own little section of the world. So they can go there, they can kill each other, they can, you know, curse each other out, do all the other plantation shit they like to do, and let the rest of us evolve as we want to. You have women and young men both walking around here like it's 1999, almost extensions of what they're making fun of in a lot of cases, and, you know, and living rap lyrics. Living, like, literally actually living rap lyrics. Even when we were hard at it, we didn't live no rap lyrics. Shit is imaginary. But these guys are living rap lyrics. These women are living rap lyrics. The way women think are in the same synergy as the hot, city girls and all that shit. This is the way they think. They think in the wave of Cardi B. They think in the wave of all these girls. And there's some good these girls have in their messages. Some good, some of these guys have in their messages. It's not totality. But the ones that are the extremes seem to be the ones that are the biggest influences. And that type of behavior that was exerted to me and presented to me, that's what that said an extension of to me. That said an extension of a chick that works in the office, but when she gets off work, she starts listening to city girls and all the most filthiest shit she can listen to, because that's what you're from. That's what you're from. That's what you're from. That's what you're from. I'm sorry, honey, or hey girl, but I'm not from that. I'm from something. If you ask me why, you ask me some dumbass question. Why you say hey girl? I say hey girl, so I'll have to say something else to you. Know what I mean? So I wanna hopefully give you some silence in your soul. Hopefully you won't take it upon yourself to make another profile to explain your discontent and acting like a neurotic jackass, and move on with life. I have no interest in dealing with you one-on-one. I think that's expired. I think the way your contention of acting like an animal by repeatedly making fake profiles to express your opinion only shows your mentality, and it doesn't point to someone that has an MBA. It counts to somebody that's sitting in Section 8 themselves on the project couch. And let me put something in perspective here. For 20 years, I lived in condos and I lived by the beach all my adult life. I've had 3 places my whole adult life. And each one of them I lived in 5, 10, 15 years in some cases, okay? So you're not talking to a first-time renter and you're talking to a future homeowner. So I want to put that in perspective, all right? I want to also put in perspective that not only did I work for this guy, but the 3 distributors that followed behind it was also with the company. Let's keep that in perspective. So when we talk about this big money shit and we get online and brag about that, I want to let you know something. The surefire way I know that you ain't got shit and you're pretending is when you come out and you have to start talking about it. See, as you see in all the pictures and all the shit and all the places you can find me, I was actually up under the shit. You understand what I'm saying? And had not some of those cars been mine, some of those hotel rooms been mine, or whatever, the fact remains, I lived that life. And that's the life you're aspiring for. And I'll live that life again once this is fully over. I left New York City from that. And came back here to the town, CT. Well, make no mistake, people that express this type of behavior, they're problems. And it should be eliminated out of the culture. And most of them have low self-esteem. They don't have anything going on really. They really don't have anything to look forward to in life. So they go around and they fuck with their own. And that's the problem I have. 40 people shot in Chicago. All these are centered around African-American, Latin communities. Well, why aren't y'all going out in the suburbs and getting these motherfuckers? These motherfuckers were set up, have militias. I caught some guy, I think it was about a week and a half ago in Oklahoma. The guy had 137 guns in his house. Claimed he was ready for war. You won't go after those guys because you're scared. But I have people fuck with me to show that they're tough or whatever the fuck they want to. Little do they know, you can get got the fuck up out of here. I don't know what that ideology got lost in translation, but you have nerds out here thinking they street guys. Guys ain't never put in a goddamn work in their life, ain't never picked up a fucking gun, knife, nothing else. You know? Remember, like I said, I showed you 8 pages of arrest record. 8 pages. There's at least 3 to 4 on each page. Go back and watch the video, you can see for yourself. Well, I did that shit. And it didn't do it like this little nickel and dime shit either. We got to call it big shit. I made the front page of the paper twice. And you out here fucking around. I was doing that shit before I got into the music business. Made a lot of money. A lot of money. See, if you could see what they caught me with, you would explain I was making a lot of money. People think that little 10,000, 20, that ain't no fucking money. $20,000. Buy a car for $20,000. I got 20 on me. We got that little kid money. I got you. That's that fresh little kid pack. You also made mention of my stocks. Since you're so smart, Miss NBA, what's the rate, when was the collapse of 401k investments? And what year did that happen? You gotta tell us that. Come on, quickly now. You can use Google if you want to. People like you usually need it with MBAs. Stocks are worth way more than a 401k could ever be, for numerous reasons. Stocks fluctuate, being the main reason. Go up and down, which I saw 4 times this week. In fact, I lost $68 on a complete stock. I'm like, fuck. But I still encourage everybody, once again, and whatever tips and pointers I can give out, I give them out. I was lucky to meet this brother. He actually used to work on Wall Street. He worked there for a very long time. And he lost his job back when they had the mortgage crisis thing. And I think he worked with Stanley and all them, whatever the motherfuckers are. And he's the one that gave me a lot of pointers and taught me and shit like that. And then I went on to learn on my own. And so I started out as practice shares, like I encourage everybody to do, put $1 or $2. I just showed my friend Annette how to do the same thing. You know, and I showed her with the phone. I said, hey, start this, whatever. Don't touch that. Because just like a row account or whatever, it'll grow, you know? And that's the other thing too, look at the Roth accounts. You don't have to have big money to do that. You take the money right there, you put a seed so it'll grow. This bitch don't know nothing about money, whoever this motherfucker is talking. This bitch know about little money. You talking about you got some organization, you dumb bitch. If you put some money into motherfucking stocks, you would have some money for the organization, dumb motherfucker. But that's how the charlatans and the black overseers work for massa. Trying to shut me down for massa. You hate men of color, huh? You hate your stuff too, don't you? Ain't nothing gonna change it. You have to embrace the shit. I embrace the shit. Nobody can tear down my motherfucking self-esteem. Nobody. And nobody can try to sell a lie to create a narrative to get a result. Because people that follow me know that's not true. I've been going now for an hour and haven't mentioned my cash up one time. So I don't know what you're talking about. You can watch the rest of my videos. You're mad because I'm explaining and I'm asking the same people that say they're for the people. I'm asking my people. I'm not asking you. I'm asking the people, the same people, not these people in particular, but the same people that I see on numerous different people that are podcasting or bloggers on YouTube that are literally multimillionaires, and people of the culture are donating $200, $300 to them, and nobody's stopping to ask why. So I don't see what benefit you are as a person to the culture. Can you elaborate and tell us what benefit you are? Because at this point, you sound just like a fraud motherfucker talking. That's what you sound like. I think we smell a fraud. Real nigga that got it, ain't worried about it. Motherfucker that ain't got it, they're talking that shit like they got it, they worried about it. Been around money, huh? Whether it was the street niggas, or whether it was motherfucking, what's the name, in the music industry. I've been around hundreds of thousands and millionaires on both ends. So you can't tell me nothing. I went around on millionaires on the street game side of the game, but I was about a couple 100,000 ass. You know what I'm saying? So a couple 100,000, which my history shows. How that motherfucker said it Carlito's way? Who you been with? Chain snatching, money gone motherfuckers. Who you been with? Only front I put on this fucking camera when I'm on here is not knowing, letting y'all know completely how I think. That much you got to get closer for me to know that. And this situation right here, and we're going to talk about you, want to talk about you, let's talk about you. This situation right here has made me even more cautious of people of the culture, black and Latino. It is if you cannot trust them. And it's sad to say that, and I feel like that about a whole bunch of poor white trash too, but we ain't talking about them. We'll have our own podcast about them. I'm talking about your own. I watched a documentary in Haiti, and it was about, and if you speak French, you know what I'm talking about, the G9 and all that. In Port-au-Prince, Bel Air, Pétionville, and the shit was, and if y'all wonder why I have such a adoration for Haitian culture, is because I had a daughter, she passed away. My daughter's mother was Haitian. And to this day, her cousins and all, I still hang with them. Whenever I see them, we call each other every 2-3 days or whatever. To this day, even when I'm around other Haitian people, it's just, you know, we have a natural, I don't know, thing. You know, I've hung with tons of Haitian guys. Tons of them. Well, I'm the only American in there. I'll tell you this much, man. It takes a lot of effort for somebody to come in and try to circumnavigate somebody's life and tell somebody what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. Well, you know damn well somebody was telling you how to fuck to live your life, you wouldn't take that shit. And you were telling somebody how to motherfucking live their life based on your perspective. And more importantly, you're interrupting black entrepreneurship. Oh yeah, there's a lot of mammies out here that want to interrupt black men and Latin men from starting their own businesses because they feel like it interrupts them in their whole Sisters United, let's lick cooches, you know, fucking movement. The faux version of feminism. Not the real feminism, the faux version of feminism. That shit that's all about bitterness and anger, passive aggressiveness and microaggressions and pouncing on men. And when I said what I said earlier, I just want to continue with that. How many of you guys have ever gone, and even women as well, gone to a restaurant, a store, whatever, and you dread on a man of color or a woman of color because you know you're going to get shitty service? I've been to every hotel you could think of in the United States that's about talking about some shit. You know what I'm saying? What's the most famous one I could think of? Fountain Blue down in Miami. Been through Fountain Blue 2, 3, 4 times. And one thing I notice is no matter where you at, you're going to run into this character. This character works behind the desk somewhere like that. And his whole inspiration for being at the job is to make sure the master favor him. He's not at the position to try to move up so he can hire other people of color like so many other minorities do. No, he's only worried about himself. Only worried about himself or themselves. Only worried about looking to be the top of the niggas. Remember 12 Years a Slave? He said, look at him. God gave it to us. Queen amongst niggas. Pick 500 barrel hay today. You want me to commend you because you work with white folks at a small position. You want to devalue me because I worked for African Americans and Latinos for 17 years in the office building that you would never see the lights on. Even 4 of them that I was working in. So I have to ask myself, as I'm kidding myself, and I'm seeing many more black and Latin women taking this position and trying to find them a Brad or somebody else, is poverty dating, as I call it, poverty dating. Whose side you on? Who you rock with? Who you rock with? If your designation of the day is to go fuck with your men, but not go fuck with motherfuckers, I see you on Derek Chauvin's page. Hey, also Queen, 305 Capricorn 1. Tell me to get a job. But you're not listening. I want the same motherfucking job. Do you know what I did? I used to go back and forth between Connecticut and New York to go to work. And now, I got paid for my place to stay, but I went to stay in my uncle's house. My uncle later on passed away, so I had to start paying for places to stay. Some nights, save money, just so I could go to work the next day. I would sleep in Port Authority. I would get in the chair, many people do it. I'd get in the chair and I'd fall asleep. And you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motherfuckers get up at 6:37 and go right to work. Because they live in Brooklyn, they live here, they live there. It takes an hour to get back there, costs money on the train. I gotta be back here anyway. This is a ritual people do in New York. Before COVID-19 started, I was working with my boss, Sean Press, ex-boss. I still call him my boss, my big brother. Ex-Bad Boy Entertainment, doing a podcast. When he ran into me in Times Square, I was working for Ripley's Believe It or Not. Before then, I worked for Madame Tussauds, which is first next door. And before that, what is the name of that chain? It's part of the Hyatt chain. I forgot what the hell the name of it is, but it'll come to my what's the name in a minute. And they do timeshares and hotel rooms and discounts. I forgot. Wyndham. I worked at Wyndham Rewards. And we try to get people to set up for that shit or whatever. So I had 3 jobs. In between those 3 jobs, and first thing, you can ask Sean Prez himself. I said, what you doing out here working? You know, always stay on the grind. The way I got back to New York is I was putting up solar panels in the freezing cold. I got hit in the eye with a solar panel. There's still a scar right there. And we were out there, there would be a set in the crew that would erect the frames that the solar panels sit on. And the solar panels themselves, we would have to lift them out the box, snow, rain, whatever the case may be, and plop those motherfuckers in. And if we got one fucked up, we got to take the clamp grips, pull the shit out, which is usually about a 2-man team. You can do it with 1 man, but if you slip and fall and break one of these motherfuckers, remind you, these shits cost about $1,200 a piece. Excuse me, $1,200 per, Jesus Christ, what you call it, a lot, or per box. So I think it's like 12 in a box. So that's where it's at. Now, you don't know what happened to me previously. And for some people, it'll fuck them up. But I say this, if you sit up here and you make fun of what I go through, don't be surprised if some guy comes through your page in the future, whatever, makes fun of you or whatever you're going through, whether that be a rape, sexual assault. Imagine I was up here and I was making fun of somebody that went through a sexual assault. And I said, oh, you all right, mentally, just pick your chin up, do what you got to do. You wouldn't do that. But for some reason or another, the women in our culture think, and I say in a segment, the women in our culture think in a segment that we don't go through shit. And I can tell you that I go through way more than you do. When's the last time you saw a multitude of women getting murdered by the police? See, on my day, outside of the mental things I go through, I have to worry about a litany of different people. I have to worry about racist Latinos. I have to worry about racist white boys, racist white women, racist Latina women, black women that totally hate themselves, black men that totally hate themselves, and anything is a reflection of them they consider competition, and not in a literal, not in a consensus sense of society or style or fashion, but no more in a sense of violence, or what could be perceived to projectively be potentially violence. You understand? So, and I hear this mirrored by many different people, especially coming out of this pandemic. People walk down the street, they be like, yo, why everybody just stone-facing everybody? You know what I'm saying? There's times now, just recently, that I don't even feel comfortable being around people of color because I don't know what their reaction may be, at least of a certain caliber anyway. And even the ones that are uptick and upscale, you have to watch them too, as Miss MBA has pointed out and presented to us. This is how the woman that says she has an MBA and worse to the facility, aiding the homeless acts. And I pose the question, how many other motherfuckers that work with you actually have the same behavior? And I pose an even bigger question, is this why I had to go through 3 agencies to finally get one to work here, back home in the state of Connecticut? Oh, let's not make a mistake about that. No, New York City couldn't do it. No, they couldn't do it. I'm still on the waiting list down in Jersey to this day. See, one thing I kept running into was, I won't say per se shitty people, but what I ran into was people that weren't consistent with finishing the work, you know? Now, the shit I went to, let me explain. And I never said this on camera. Never say it on camera now. The thing that spiraled out of control and got me into the situation I'm in, and I know many of y'all want to know that, was that I had a woman, I'm not going to berate her, but I had a woman that was purely, I'm talking about anticipatingly in love with this woman. I loved her. Make no doubt about it. Beautiful woman. It was like an Ethiopian queen. You know, she's just beautiful. She looked almost like Jill Scott. But in my opinion, a prettier version of Jill Scott. I'm gonna call her H. I'm not gonna say her real name, I'm just gonna call her H. HU, as I'm gonna call her. HU, she broke my heart twice. The first time, initially, she broke my heart. And as shit progressed, we're now going to tip for tat with each other. Now, later, have to evaluate and figure out. We're going to tip for tat with each other. The first time, we probably should have broke up. And the second time, she had told me some other shit. And she said, why don't you just go do this, that, I'll come behind you. I didn't believe that. She wanted me to leave and go to New York. She said she would come behind me. And then my mom, I thought, if I leave her, I'm going to lose her. I was with this woman for 7 years. She slept in bed with me. There was a couple of times she had to work late at night. I couldn't even get to sleep because she wasn't there. I was so used to sleeping beside her. And I'll tell you, I love this chick. I thought this was going to be my wife. I thought I was going to finally have some kids again. You know, like I mentioned earlier, my daughter passed away. She was born prematurely. And that had already priorly been here on my subconscious, of course. I don't think anybody ever loses that, you know? And different from others, you know, when some children are born premature, they're usually stillborn or something like that, or, you know, they don't make it very far off the gurney. And in my case, my daughter lived for like 8 or 9 months, and you can see through. She was so premature. But around about the 4th or 5th month, I got to see her face, the face come in, and she looked so much like me and her mother. It was ridiculous. It was like the perfect mending of DNA. I don't know how to explain it, but it looked very profoundly like me. You know, she passed away later from heart failure. You know, I'll get into my reasons why I had a lot of aggression at one time for that, but I want to get back to HU. Well, HU and I ended up getting into an argument because she had talked about some man that had been previously coming to visit her at her job, and I had no idea who this gentleman was, and now this gentleman wanted to give her a gift. She told me about the gift. And what I should have said was, yo, let me go with you there. Let me go with you so you can go get the gift, whatever, you know, what the gift was. But it seemed like she didn't want me to go. And I was trying to figure out, all right, what's going on here, you know? And one thing led to another. We got into an argument. Yeah, a lot of it had to come from my presumption. And I was mad, and we got into it. I don't think we got into it to the point of what happened to me, which was I ended up getting stabbed by her 3 times, right here in my back. You know, I still got the scars right there. I don't know where I can see that, but That's what I'm poking right there, you see it? So, and the other two on the back of my back. And she did this with a hydrogen light bulb. Out of anger, you know. I don't think she was trying to kill me because, or intentionally anyway, because she said, first they said, I'm sorry, and started hugging me. She said, I'm sorry, and started hugging me. That was the, out of all the shit I done seen in my life, all the shit I done been through, that and hearing my grandmother died, probably were the two hardest moments in my life. I mean, like, you know, fuck all the shit that happened at the offices and all that stuff or whatever. I could deal with that. I could deal with the music industry anytime I want to, you know. That's not a problem. As y'all can see, you know, I have every fucking blogger you can think about talk about me. And my story, shout out to Choke No Joke. Shout out to Dolly Diamonds for mentioning me before. Definitely shout out to Power Moves Maker, Sean Prez, a lot of other people that just mentioned me. Marvelous, shout out to you. I see all the people you be sending over to me or whatever, you know. I got a lot of people that amp for me to come up or whatever. And once that happened with me and my ex or whatever, I had no support. I went to the hospital by myself. I had something else happen to me shortly after that in the bar, well, in the after hours. You know what I'm saying? That required me to get some dental work on the top portion of my mouth right here as a result of fighting. You know, I was in a lot of anger. I went through that by myself. You know, I hit the concrete face first. That's why I still got this dent in my head. If y'all see that dent in my head sometimes, that's what that's from. I hit the concrete face first. And sucker punch me. And I went through months of rehabilitation for that or whatever, but mentally, it fucked me. Fast forward, not even 3-4 months later, I end up in a situation which y'all know me most famously for on this video. I stayed at a facility. Well, the reason that happened was we had moved in, and many of y'all know couples after a while you start sharing the bills, and one depends on the other, or the other, you know, can cover something that the other can't occur or whatever. So in between the years of the 7 years we had been together, we had moved into a bigger place. Where in actuality, 2 months prior to that, we had just went to go look at another place that was bigger than the place we were in, which was literally 2 doors down. We loved the area that we were in. She was new to the area. I had lived there for probably, 10 plus, maybe 13 plus years or whatever by the beach there. So we definitely had a thing where it's that not only were we connected that way, but we were cool. So I ended up, when her part of the economy left, you know, that was coming into the house, I made it harder for me. You know, first it was the electric bill. Then after the electric bill, and the electric bill really stung me during the wintertime. After that, it ended up being other bills that were mounting, my college loans. It just shit dismounted, dude. This shit dismounted. And it was a wonder that I was able to make it out of that without being escaped as much as I possibly could have. And the way that I avoided all that was I knew one thing: do not get an eviction. Do not get an eviction. If you get an eviction, that's worse than having bankruptcy. You see, that shit stays with you for life. Even a felony won't stay with you as long as an eviction. That or foreclosure. Them motherfuckers stick with you. Always remember that, kids. Bankruptcy, foreclosures, and evictions. They stick with you like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Everything else can be erased. But that shit right there, Fast forward, I went through 9 months of one homeless shelter in New York City. To no avail could they find a place for me to stay. A regular thing is now I have an older gentleman that I'm still friends with to this day, and I still talk to him on the phone every day. He'll tell you the same thing. I do everything I was supposed to do. After 9 months, I ended up meeting a female, and she put me in a room over in the Bronx, and that's why I was in the Bronx. I'm familiar with the Bronx, my crew from the Bronx. I know the Bronx, I felt comfortable in the Bronx, so I was just like, yo, let me go over here. And I was in a section of the Bronx that it's not like on the 4-6 line, I was on the 2 line. So ain't nothing over there with Albanians, Jamaicans, Dominicans, you know what I mean? Minding the motherfucking business for the most part. Be a couple thugs here and there, but the thugs ain't mind the business, most part you fuck with them. I stayed there for almost close to a year. Probably like 7-8 months. I stayed there for a long time. And I want to thank her for that. Thank you, Marina. We ain't in on such a good note, but her and her son Charlie, I loved them to death. If it wasn't for Marina, I would have still been at that place or worse. So thank you, Marina. Thank you. And what's up, Charlie? That's my buddy, still my buddy. You ever need me, kid? You see this? You know my phone number. I don't care what it is. Fast forward a little bit more. I remove myself out of there. I go to this spot I'm in and wearing or whatever. It's great. Here comes the fucking pandemic. Now, mind you, I'm building up to everything. I'm going to see Corey Holcomb at fucking Sasso Con Fuego. I'm going to Caroline's to see other comics or whatever. I've been around Mark Curry now. I've been around D.L. Hewley, everybody now. I'm good with the fucking DJ there, Caroline's in Midtown Manhattan. I got in there for free because they knew who the fuck I was, thank God. You know what I'm saying? So they let me in for free. Got to see Corey Holcomb's show. What else? I started the podcast with Power Moves Makers and being there every Wednesday faithfully. My boss will tell you it was only 1 week I missed, and that's because I had an appointment. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have made it there in time. I get on the train like 5:30. I just wouldn't have made it. I had to go to the doctor. So it was only one out of, what was that, about 12, 13 weeks that I missed. So we were doing a great job. We were having fun. We was interviewing every fucking body. DJ Envy, Phone Master Flex, and all the other people that I mentioned that came in person to our little filming location down in Brooklyn. Now, funny shit is, man, as soon as this pandemic thing happens, I have a situation that happens over there in the X, whatever, and now I gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, and it was no personal situation. It was just more a situation. I saw some shit. I peeped some shit. It's time to go. Anytime a motherfucker starts shooting out of desperation, it's time for you to leave that area. I've always learned that. I always stayed adhere to that. Don't sit around and be the curious motherfucker that want to find out what's going on and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. Leave. Well, I left New York City and I came back to Connecticut. Connecticut is home for me. You know what I'm saying? New York is home for me too, but Connecticut is home for me. You know what I'm saying? Most of my life has been here in Connecticut. You know what I mean? Everyone, my friends in Connecticut, people I know politically or on whatever situations are here in Connecticut. I know a few people in the political atmosphere, whatever, in New York, but not as well as I do in Connecticut. And that was basically off of local politics that I happen to know people like Barbara Neff and Miss Cynthia and other people, whatever. I met Joseph Lieberman with Miss Cynthia, you know? So shout out to Miss Cynthia, Crystal Pie, all that. D, what up, boy? So yeah, I'm talking about my man D Mom. She's heavy in the, the political game, whatever. So I had a wonderful conversation with Joseph Lieberman. That man actually listened to me and understood what I was saying and iterated and elaborated on some of the things I was saying. Well, you know what we have, and it's funny you said that. Those were two things he said, and Miss Cynthia was there to witness it. I come back to Connecticut. Now I'm in my homie's house. He had a family emergency, so I had to leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell y'all what it was, but it involved his nephew, stuff like that. I understand that. And in a way, I still love that kid, but I had to leave him alone. Comes a time in life, sometimes and only sometimes, and some people have played the course in your life, and the time of your life, and it's time to move on. And I think he did that. I got something for him in the present. I always know how to find him. So that's not a problem. And I hope you're doing good, kid. Hope you're doing good. The funny thing is that regardless, I gained a couple problems when I got here. Y'all know everything up to date. I've had rats in there. I've had people try to start fights with me. One of the homeless shelters I was at, there was this triple shooting that happened right across the street from us while we were asleep, That's why you always see me smoking Lucy's all the time. Because I'm very, very, very... I gained a lot of problems from being in this atmosphere. And Miss MBA, if she works in that atmosphere, she should know that because there's many of her clients that have the same thing. There's this thing that comes over us from always having to be on point. You have to be more on point in the homeless shelter system than you have to be in the streets. Because in the streets, at least you can find a safe zone to be in. So even though things are better for me or whatever, it all happened because of that. A mishap with my ex-girlfriend, which wasn't really that much of a mishap. It was, deliberate on both of our terms. She cheated, I revenge cheated. I felt like she was still cheating. She wouldn't give me no answers why she cheated. And in reality, I think she just cared about both of us. She had a set of feelings. She knew dude before me. You know what I'm saying? But she had an obligation as far as me. And my ex, she was a couple years younger than me. So, maybe in her decision making at the time, you know what I'm saying? And maybe she's looked back and reflect. And all that bad shit we went through, I still love this motherfucker. She fucked me up. When y'all say that shit, who hurt you? That's her. I always say that. It was her. She fucked me up. When I tell you I love this woman, I love this woman. So when people tell me that shit, talk about, yo, why you talking about black women and you know what I'm saying? And you attack my nationality too, that's funny. You know me? That's funny. It's always funny when somebody try to tell you what you are, whatever, then you can prove what you are, and then they're like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? I bet you wouldn't say that shit to my aunts and uncles. Yeah, Patrice. Besito. It's amazing how we got our women out here making fun of, trying to control, trying to circumnavigate what you ought to be doing, and all this shit. Well, y'all haven't looked back one motherfucking time and said, what can I do to help? That's what it's about. So if I get on the mic, on my motherfucking show, create your own show and block me, then you ain't got to worry about hearing from me. You understand what I'm saying? But what you don't have the right to do is come to the entity and the property that I created, even though it's part of this motherfucking whole establishment of Google and YouTube and the whole vertical integration system that they have. It's still mine. Because see, without me, there is no motherfucking show. And I know my once standing on the position I was in has helped propel me. Don't get me wrong about that. There would be a lot of motherfuckers who want to hear anything I had to say had I not been in the music business and all that shit. I know that for a fact. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? I can understand your curiosity. But I'll tell you this fucking much. Ain't no man or woman gonna come on this motherfucker and tell me what I should or shouldn't be doing. First of all, who the fuck are you? Second of all, who the fuck are you? And third of all, who the fuck are you? Don't nobody run my motherfucking life. Nobody. Never. I've always walked my own beat. That's why nothing you can say to me can carry me down or whatever, because I've had more than you. So how you gonna sit there and motherfucker try to judge somebody and they have more than you? That's called hate. That's called denial. That's called delusion. That's called trying to gain a spot off the back of somebody else's, more readily known as crabs in a motherfucking barrel. Hey, Annette. Hello, everyone. Let's hope everyone's day is going well. Hey, Dawn. Thank you, Divalicious. That's my girl all the time. Y'all hit those like buttons. Thank you. Thank you, Anton. Uh-huh. Yeah, she was peeping. SIL on the check-in. Peace 305 Capricorn. I'm just going through here looking at everybody's comments. And that's some more. And you're using Puffs, you're using the notorious Big. How can you use Big's name? Big dead. See what I'm saying? You work for the city? This is why shit ain't getting done. Y'all know what I mean, huh? Let me tell you what I mean. Let me go deep into it. If this person is in the tri-state, let me tell you about this. Whether it's MTA in New York City or New Jersey, whether it's any type of city services in New York or New Jersey, and sometimes Connecticut too, here in Hartford, Bridgeport, New Haven, I've heard the stories. to apply to certain customers or the demographic. What they do is they hire people that have the certificates or have the just enough education to work in these facilities. And as they work in these facilities, these people get this disdain that they have some type of power. So they're now modus operandi, which means main motive. Their now modus operandi is now to exert the power or the little bit of power that they have. I've seen this time after time after time after time after again with a lot of black, white, and Spanish constituencies and people in power. So it doesn't have a color no more. We're just talking about this specific group. And a lot of times these people worldwide, including in Africa, including in Haiti, including in Puerto Rico, you know, they ousted Puerto Rico's president and governor. Can't make this shit up. They steal from their own. They rob from their own. They talk shit down on their own, but don't make one motherfucking effort to help their own. But when there's an advocacy pertaining to the people specifically, they want to coattail onto it so it's a little motherfucking popping. Just like today, I seen everybody talking about the Derek Chauvin, and that's why I fell back before I did mine. I said, let me see what these niggas gonna talk about. So I watched how all of them grouped onto it because it was trending, see? They wasn't talking about the countdown to the Derek Chauvin sentence. They wasn't talking about, okay, we got 3 days left to the Derek Chauvin. They wasn't talking shit about it to the day. That's including my motherfucking ass, too. That's including me, too. And the only reason I made it my headline is I actually gave a fuck about this case. And I know somebody, 2, 3 people here in Minnesota, and they hate the place. They hate the place, including one of my subscribers, which makes 4. You do not have the right, you do not discern the right, you're not a psychiatrist. I've been evaluated by psychiatrists. I know what the fuck's wrong with me. And right now, being everything that I've been through, I've created in my mind that not the world is after me, but I need some calm down time. I have not been around nothing but consistently all the faces that I've seen in the past couple of months and all the different facilities I went to and shit like that. All the different facilities that I went to, all the different homeless shelters I've been through, the faces that just flood through there. Some people just come there, they stay there 2-3 days, they're gone. You know what I'm saying? I've seen so many faces, like even the faces that are my roommates now. You have to understand, they come from that same program. And around the country, these programs are fucked up wherever. Mostly I see, if you look at the totality of what's going on in California as far as homelessness and the filth that's beyond it, you have people in California that they have so many tents on the sidewalk because people erect tents. It's very warm out there. So a lot of people come out there from all across the country. This specifically, they're saying to themselves, all right, I'm already homeless, but I at least trying to be home somewhere where it's warm. So these people will jump on a bus, they'll do whatever, and go to Cali, go to wherever to where it's warm. They'll be homeless there because they have other options. They can sleep outside or whatever the case may be. I've never in the whole time that I've been homeless been one of them sleeping on the side niggas, whatever. I don't know if it's luck. I don't know what it was, but it was always somebody there. Mitch Bay, Ned Falston, Divalicious, always there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never asked Divalicious to donate nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? And many others. But when I sit up here, sometimes I'll just be like, yo, why do I give out this type of information? I've had people write in the comments, yo, all that information that you're giving out, people should be donating to you like crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I would think so too. But I thought about one day, I said, you know what, I want to tag Boyce Watkins and Kwame Brown, a couple other people to see if they real niggas. You know what I'm saying? Or see if they give me the white man answer. It's gonna work now. I don't have time to sit and tell everybody individually my story. You know what I'm saying? But I'm fucked up. I make no mistake about it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't sit there and pretend like, oh shit, it's all right. You know how motherfuckers like to do. They like to pretend. I don't like to pretend. That's why I get up on and tell motherfuckers shit. You know what I'm saying? Because in that way I don't have to explain it later or that old, you know, rainbow shit y'all be doing with, I'ma expose him, girl. Expose what? Translated easily means I'm gonna tell some of his business because I'm a piece of shit. I'm gonna tell everybody to try to get vengeance. I'm gonna expose them. Expose. Like, what are you telling me? Expose somebody? But you never told a fib. You never did something that you regretted or whatever. Yet you without sin cast the first stone. I've done a whole bunch of shit in my life that I've been ashamed of. The one thing I'm not ashamed of is getting up here telling my story, because I know the value in it in the future. That part you don't give me enough credit for knowing. I know the value of things. And so my story can be sold. Can yours? I know tons of people, including people that have, many of people that have attached to me or whatever. Now you ask yourself, how does Bad Boy play playing this, and why did you say Bad Boy? Well, why I said Bad Boy was, by the time I was going through this, including a couple of nights I have nowhere to stay and shit like that, was because, you know, I've slept outside before twice. I said I didn't, but I did. I slept outside before twice, and that's when I first went back out to that town. I had to sleep outside one night because what's the name? I was just fucked up. So I had to stay outside one night, and then the next morning, I'll say, I went to where I was supposed to come to, and that wasn't open. By the time I got back to Connecticut, I wasn't allowed back in the shelter, so therefore I had to sleep outside. So that was twice. Yeah, it was twice. And I had my bag with me, so I would put my head back on my bag like this, and I have this long, it's almost like a damn cape hoodie, and that was my blanket. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you camp out, man. So yeah, twice. It's not very easy, and it takes a lot out of you. Like, all of us that are in that shit, that's one thing I noticed. Even the guys that are my roommates, like, we're all been touched by this shit. I don't know how to explain it, but it's definitely a demon that you have to shake. And another thing too for me is I'm having to get readjusted after being so long back in New York. I'm having to get readjusted here. I mean, if you don't know, people here in Connecticut are way more friendlier. And the thing about New York is, you ask a lot of people, enter in why I left New York. I just ran into that probably like a year ago, and I was like, oh God, this is a signal. And people would say, yo, I'm becoming evil, and it does. I mean, a little bit it does. You have to be kind of passive aggressive in the town, you know, like here back home in Connecticut, I don't have to be that passive aggressive. In fact, in some crowds, it's frowned upon, you know, so you definitely don't have to do that here. In New York, a lot of people try to prove themselves, even if they have like the smallest position, like no education, no nothing. They'll try to prove themselves because there's so many people. So, you know, even if you're the best, you know, janitor or waiter or cook, whatever the fuck little small ass position you got that you hold so noble to, even if you have any of those positions, right, they will try to compete with somebody that like myself, that has a degree, or somebody that's worked in office buildings or whatever. They will stand on that, you know? And so, I don't know, man. It just, me having to readjust to be a bad guy here is a big deal. The only people that live in the tri-state will understand it. But Connecticut is a totally different thing than Jersey and New York. There's similarities when you get to Bridgeport and Norwalk and all these other little shitty towns, but make no mistake about it, like, Connecticut is totally different from fucking the rest of the tri-state. But enter in, why did I leave New York? And you'll understand exactly what I mean. Just enter in, click any of them. I guarantee you don't say the same shit. You become just a mean motherfucker. I put some of that meanness with me, and I'm trying to evaporate it, but it's hard. It's hard. Because I got that. I've got a lot of pent-up aggression. I haven't had a girlfriend since my ex. I've literally not had a girlfriend since my ex. You know, and I thought about that the other day. There was this girl I was crushing on or whatever, and that didn't end very well. It started out very well, it didn't end very well. And I think this because, like, I honestly and truthfully, I don't know, I think something wrong with her. And I said, nah, let me shake that shit, because I got issues my damn self. And, like, it was just too much inconsistency, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I don't like girls that are, like, online models or whatever you fuck you want to call it. I hate that shit, because like, some of the guys, they would come on their comments and they would say, guys will say nasty shit anyway, even if you throw up one little picture. But if you're one of these models or whatever, and you just constantly got up types of pictures, like, she didn't do anything salacious, she didn't do anything that was nasty, anything like that. But it was just like, it's almost like she was flirting with everybody. That's how it came off. And a lot of dudes, I just read the comments, these grease balls, most of them, like these dirt bags, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, good. And so that didn't work out much. I can't be competing with niggas online. I don't do that. Somebody wrote something here. You have nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to your story. Everybody has a story. The only difference is the person learns from it. Thank you. Waterbury, Dirty water. You know Connecticut. Thank you. Don Smith. Hey, mama. Hey, Don. What's going on? What matter now is how you finish. And that's what I mean. The few times, and everybody know, and especially in net or whatever, the few times I have been on here and I mentioned my Cash App or whatever, all that shit is at the end of my broadcast. I think I'm being honest, and maybe that's what y'all not used to, motherfucking being honest, and that's why I appreciate, I forgot exactly who it was, but they wrote in my comment section, I think it was you, Don, I'm pretty sure it was you. You wrote in the comment section, you said you shouldn't have to show what you do with your donations or whatever the case may be because you're so honest. And I said, thank you, I appreciate that. You know, like I am honest. I think I'm like one of the most honest YouTubers there is, because most other YouTubers, they collect money from you guys and they don't even tell you guys or show you guys what they do with the money. You don't know if any of these guys bought it. Like I've seen guys that bought houses. Tariq Nasheed owns like 3-4 properties now, whatever. None of that is getting funneled back into the people, into culture, nothing like that. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars being spent here. We're not talking about a couple of fucking dollars. You know, let's make a mistake. So with that being said, it's amazing to me why some reason or another you can't find someone or another to individually just, you know what I mean? This woman just came over here and started yelling and screaming as high as she possibly could just to interrupt my broadcast. So I want you guys to see it because she wants to be on camera, I think. You know what I mean? It's like crazy. So, anyway. Long story short here, guys. All those accumulations of all those different things right there, for some reason or another, add up to where you saw my legacy be so far right now. And I don't think there's a problem whatsoever in me coming on here, doing my broadcast, and all the information I give out, throwing up my Cash App or whatever at the end of my broadcast. And if you don't complain about Kevin Samuels or any of these guys that have taken hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars from you, and I mean literally, I've seen Kevin Samuels now collect hundreds of thousands of dollars, more power to him. I don't really get what Kwame is collecting donations, but okay, because you have a lot of money, you know what I mean? So why not circumnavigate it and say, hey, donate to this person, donate to that person? Yes, I am starting over in life. I need a break. I'm scared. I'm regulated. It's only working so many hours because of this fucking program, which was reiterated by my worker the other day. We went to go look at another apartment, which I wanted to tell you guys about. So I didn't get to get online and tell you. I went to go look at another apartment. It is fucking beautiful. Quiet street. It's not here downtown. It's on an adjacent town from here, which is a beautiful section of town. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but a beautiful section of town where I have the water. I have everything I could want, you know. And so I'm hoping that I get this place. If not, you know, a lot of people are reluctant to take this program thing I got because a lot of people have fucked it up. They're moving in and fuck up the apartment or whatever the case may be. So I'm at the disposal of that. I got an extension, which is a great thing. So, you know what I mean? That's a good thing. But yeah, just trying to find somebody to do that. So, you know, I made a mention before. I don't know how listening y'all think I am, like I'm some Superman or something. But I had 2 storage rooms. I had one big storage room where I had all my shit. That one was like $85 a month. And 1 month I couldn't afford the shit. I just couldn't afford it. If I would have taken that money out of my budget for what I do, it would have been catastrophic, like, especially during the pandemic. So I ended up getting another one in New York, which is only $40. I still have that one. I pay for it automatically every month. I have to because the new stuff that I collected is in there. But it's just mostly clothes. I have like 1 or 2 or 3 pieces of furniture, whatever. So I don't know when it got to a point where I'm begging online. In any firms I heard, you're offering a service, and that's why people are donating. And this is why somebody said something to me before about the same thing. They said, you get so much fucking knowledge, and people act like it's a problem that people should donate to you or something like that. I'm like, yeah. And it really what it breaks down to is this. I mean, I don't get too many Latinos coming to me on here. I don't get too many white people coming to me on here. So the way I broke it down is, I mean, like, yeah, it's just basically black people, you know, and it's scary, it's sad, but it's the truth. The fewer Latinos that I do to get to come on here and they say shit like that, usually one of the main things about them is they have like a low self-esteem, you know, and it may be bound from work, it may be bound from many other different things. I think it's basically the same thing with blacks too. Like, you can be the best motherfucker in the world, but if you're not happy in your life and shit like that, it reflects. It reflects on things you do. Like, I had a dude today purposely try to walk into me. I had somebody do that before too. They'll just purposely try to walk into you just to get, you know, some type of reaction, start some shit. I'm like, how come y'all out here doing this to white people? And stop fronting like you popping like that. Like, you just going out here. It don't matter who it is, you just pop it off on. You know I know that? Because I do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm fearless in that respect. I've been through too much. It ain't too late for me. I'm starting over. Got a new light and a new direction. And once I circumnavigate myself around a couple situations, everything will be all right. So if I say something like, hey, can you donate the Cash App $STRINGERBELL80? Just remember, unlike the other motherfuckers, I'm going to show you what I get. I'm going to show you what I purchased. Looks like I have it, you know? And a lot of people, they just won't do that. They just won't do that. Ask some of these favorite bloggers of yours to start showing you what they do with your donation. Just ask them. Just be like, yo, can you show us what you do with the money we donate you? Now, there'll be some that get new, and that's another thing I hope to do too. I want to get like equipment, more equipment and light. Because when I do move into my spot, I want to be able to keep going. This right here is my economy, I believe, and I don't see anything wrong with it when so many other bloggers are doing it. So why are you like typecasting me and just, you know, picking me out of everybody and being like, oh no. Motherfucker, let's not forget, I got 1.6 million views, all right? I did 68,000 views this month, and I barely put anything up for like 2 weeks. So, you know, regardless of whatever the case may be, make no mistake about it, people are here to watch me, you know? And if I have one person that comes on the page and they don't like what I said, or they don't like the behavior they see or whatever, then you always have the option of going somewhere else. What you don't have the option of is creating this whole diatribe and this whole narrative or whatever based on whatever the flying fluck you want it to be, and then flooding it on my channel like you're some child. You know what I mean? That's what children do. Children come on people's pages and leave nasty, belligerent comments. Imagine if I was doing that to a woman. If I was doing that to a woman, I'd be considered a bully. So, if you fly off the handle like Sailor Moon did on here, and say whatever, if you don't have enough information or not collected enough information, maybe you should really second guess yourself. And more importantly, you say you work for the state, if that's the truth, but as I said before, I doubt. But if you work for the state, are there more motherfuckers there that do the silly antics you do just like you? Maybe that's why nothing's getting done. Because this is a slow process. You always show what you do, and I appreciate that. Thank you. No problem. Did I get enough 6? Yeah, I be buying Lucy's. Like, they ain't much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I be buying Lucy's, man, most of the time. I try not to, but it's like, I know what you guys are saying. I try not to, but like a lot of times it's just like, yo, I want a cigarette right now, or like, or a cup of coffee. You know, coffee's my other thing or whatever. But I've been doing less and less coffee because coffee has a way of like making people evil if you drink too much of it. It really does. It changes your mood. I have found that I'm way more aggressive when I drink a lot of coffee. Like, especially if I get an extra large coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, I am fucking like jumpy as shit. Oh man. Yeah, I'm up to a challenge or whatever. So, like I said, I don't see any problem with me getting on here asking the folks or whatever. At least I'm being straight up and asking. Other people are getting on here and frauding like they give a fuck about y'all. They don't give a fuck about y'all. If anybody give a fuck about y'all, what people talking about is me. And a few other people, choke no joke. You know what I'm saying? A couple other people that are on this mic. But the majority of people that get on here or whatever, I've seen people claim. There was this guy that came up in my feed that straight up just made up a story and said and try to add comedy at it at the end. He was trying to call Birdman Charles Dutton. I was like, yo, you sound fucking corny. Like, and this guy had 93,000 views off that. 93,000 views. It's amazing to me. And Sailor Moon's not the first person that's done that. Every time I find, except for 2, maybe 3 times, it's been women that will at first act like they're friendly with me and cool with me. As soon as I do something or say something on the mic that they don't like, oh, it's all off with his head. Off of my head, why? That's the part I'm trying to figure out. Y'all hold on one second. I'm going to share this again so everybody know I'm live. Don't go anywhere. To make sure everybody know I'm live. So I'm just saying, like, why are you attacking me? I look like an easy target or something? Is that what it is? You know what I'm saying? Big Papi Juanpito? What's going on? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Why is it that women of color think they could just jump in a man's face? You know, I know some men out here that will rip your fucking head off your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like, facto. You don't know how fucking nutty I am. You know what I'm saying? If you would have paid attention to the motherfucking 8 pages I showed the other day, you would know I'm not the one to do that with. At all. And I don't have to touch you. I got sisters, a lot of female cousins, a lot of homegirls, including 3 of them that are licensed. You know what I'm saying? One of my homegirls actually works at the court system. You know what I'm saying? As a bailiff. She's licensed to have on and off. You know? You have to be very careful when you're talking shit to people just because you're on the internet. And that's what a lot of people seem to do with their options. They want to talk shit to people on the internet, not knowing that people will show up at your house nowadays. You ain't hear me? People will show up at your motherfucking house and drag you, your mama, daddy in some cases, everybody out the house and do what they wilt. You understand? I know some hard-hitting motherfuckers like that because I roll with them. I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Really, one of them. That's why I had 8 pages to show y'all. So I don't know where you get the fact that I'm some Mickey Mouse motherfucker because I'm small. I'm one of, my boys will tell you, I'm one of the most dangerous ones out of all of us, and they all bigger than me. They all bigger than me because I react quicker. You know, I react quicker than all of them when it comes to that shit. I'm no tough guy and nothing like that. I don't like that lifestyle or anything like that either. But I'm just trying to figure out why is it, and this is happening on Kwame Brown's page, this is happening on many other people's pages that are people of color, and they're being harassed, ridiculed, mocked, or whatever the case is by other people of color. Those same people of color that have that ferocity, most of the time being black and Latino, how come they're not taking that over the far right wingers pages? How come they're not going over the Glenn Beck's page? How come they're not going over the fucking, all these other people that they say they hate? There was some shit that fucking, what's the name, Tucker Carlson said that I didn't agree with, but a lot of shit Tucker Carlson says he keeps it a bean too. And in his own little slick way tries to warn motherfuckers what's going on. So let's give him praises for that. I ain't see nobody go over there when he said that one shit. I don't see these motherfucking coward motherfuckers going anywhere except for fucking with people that look just like them. I know you do. I'm going to set that up. I've already been thinking about that anyway. That's why I was asking you the questions I was asking you last time. I told you I got a certain way of doing things, a certain way of thinking, a certain way of moving. You know, that's just me. But with people that like Annette and Patrice and Dawn and many of Divalicious and many other women I can mention, one thing about them I say, most importantly, and shout out to Divalicious Hair Extensions. You know what I'm saying? I always give her a plug. That's just to always be in here trying to help me. And, you know, that's why I say there's a segment. It's a segment. It's not all, it's a segment, but a heavy influencing segment. That's the problem. That's the problem. And if it ain't between the music, the weave, the hair, whatever the case may be, it's turning out some of the most worst broads you could think of, you know? As I'm sitting here talking about some of that bullshit riding past me, I don't respect that music because I know the fucking, like, I don't respect that genre of hip hop. because I know the emotion it brings, and it's always been playing at every last one of these artists, or these artists did that type of music. And in my opinion, out of 28, 38 rappers, something like that, that got shot and killed. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of them that I find that you guys probably never even heard of. They're local, you know, MC such and such or whatever the fuck else. All across the country. I'm talking about to this day. You know? So I think it's up higher than that. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going to get up off here. I ain't got too much to say. I don't want to drag this out too much, but I just want to tell you, shout out to Sailor Moon, all that. You want me to do a podcast about you, so I did one. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Derek Chauvin. You know what I'm saying? And I will say this to Sailor Moon. If how you were acting on here is any indication of how you secretly harbor these feelings at work, well, I would say that you're a problem. They probably need to get rid of you ASAP. Something's wrong with you. That's usually coattail behind a mental problem somewhere or another. And only somebody with totally no class would act like that. And to further emphasize that you probably have a mental problem, who the fuck makes 4 profiles? And just like clockwork, I said there was 2 more made, so we got 1 more to go. Because I'm blocking this one too. But so you can come in with your other profile, come in and talk some more shit or whatever. Mr. City worker with an MBA. That's how I talk to all of them on the plantation. They gonna listen to Mammy. Y'all hurry up now. Go night. Y'all hurry up now. Go on downstairs. They gonna drink good tonight. They're drinking the good stuff. Go downstairs and get that barrel. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The shit is hilarious to me. I'm gonna continue talking about this shit, and hopefully it'll latch on to more people or whatever. But and I see all y'all that keep coming back in. I appreciate that shit. But honestly and truthfully, I gotta stay latched to this because it seems to be a problem somewhere socially that black people and many brown people in this country just want to kiss white people's asses, and these white people looking at y'all like y'all motherfucking jokes. Anybody can see the difference between someone that's natural and someone that's putting on a fucking acting role. And I hate these liberal motherfuckers that actually sit there and pretend like these subservient motherfuckers that you're friending actually serve a purpose in your life. They don't serve a fucking purpose in your life, and you know that, and I know that too, except for servitude, in whatever dimension it is. And that's what it is. And the quicker even if you don't take that position, some of your actions imply that. You know what I'm saying? Some of your actions come from a space of that. Does that make sense? So anybody that I feel comes on my page and is telling people, don't donate to me, don't do this, and you know everything that I've been through, then you working for them and you trying to impress them, and it ain't working. You just look like, even to them, a tap dancing shoe shine. I grew up around whites and Greeks and Italians, and I can tell you straight up and down, that's fucking exactly what you look like to them. That's how they will treat you from that point on, if they see that in you. If you show integrity and dignity, that's how you'll get treated. If you show pawn and a pet, you will get that the whole entire time that you were friends or in circumference of those people. You better believe that. It's disgusting to see black and Latino people coming on here decimating other black and Latino bloggers, even the ones that are trying to get out a good message. I've been through hell. You don't see me getting on here every day talking about some fucked up shit and how y'all. I get on here and just, you know, talk myself. You know, maybe you should learn how to do it too. Guys, the Cash App is $STRINGERBELL80. Again, that's Stringer Bell 80. All monies and proceeds go to new equipment and fucking furniture, TV, and all that shit, because I have none of that. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody just came out of the pandemic and was in a homeless shelter in the pandemic, I don't have to explain shit to nobody. So your negligence of me or somebody like me, not even particularly me, or someone like me, and you're claiming you're for the people, and the only answer you have is, go work for the white man now. You better go on up there to Master Johnson's house and ask him for a job. That's the only motherfucking clues you should ask yourself. Have you been so conditioned to being a slave? Have you been so conditioned to clouting and showboating that you have to throw up whatever? I don't know. And this was shits and giggles. I'm going to do something else. Somebody said set up your super chat. So I'm gonna set up my super chat, see if that changes things. I know it won't. Because if the nigga won't hop off for 2 minutes and go to fucking Cash App, it definitely ain't gonna take. I'm not worried about that shit. I still got a message to put out here, and I'm gonna keep on putting that out there. And who supports me, who don't. Right now, currently, I probably got like, I don't know, like $44, I think it was something like that. You see me sitting up here crying or anything like that or whatever, that's begging. You know what I'm saying? I said my Cash App twice in this, and I can say it more times than that if I fucking want to. And ain't nobody can control that. And nobody's gonna shame me out of that asking for donations. You're not gonna shame me. Had I listened to niggas tell me that, yo, you'll never be in the music industry, that's a joke, it's a script, I would have never been with Bad Boy Entertainment if I would have thought that. I know where this mic and this camera gonna take me. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a second phase of previously already established career. You understand what I'm saying? Now, just because you don't know that, that's your problem. It's not mine. You understand what I'm saying? And I plan on helping out a lot of people. When I say get on my feet and get right, I plan on helping out a lot of people that help me. So blessings come back. And anybody that know me, know motherfuckers just come to my condo, drink what they wanted to. I buy the jug, the liter joint. You know what I'm saying? That's how you drink in my house. Champagne, all that shit. People be throwing up off my balcony, passing out at my place or whatever. When I was fucked up, ain't none of them people was around. So the people that was around, just go around when this happened, y'all get nothing but the best for me in the future. So like me, share me, subscribe if you haven't. Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. There's also a PayPal link there if you don't have the Cash App. And I just want to say bye and thank you to everybody that tuned in. So let's see who's here. Thank you, Divalicious. Divalicious Hair Stitches, goddamn it, LLC. Man, go check them out. I'm trying to, sister. I'm trying. You saying it with your chest. Be it, sis. Please do. Give me, you already know the drill. You already know the drill, man. Shot-town on the motherfucking check-in. Nat Fawcett, Divalicious again. Divalicious always me. Thank you very much, baby girl. I know. Anton Queen, thank you. And y'all here to crack it up in the chat room. Who else in here? Annette. Hey, Dawn, what's going on? Dawn, I got a link with you, too. I'm gonna hit you. I've just been real busy. Divalicious. Damn, I got a lot of comments in here tonight. Y'all hit those like buttons as y'all check out. The Notorious BUM. That is crazy right there. So like, this shit. Oh my God. All right, we're back, guys. That's crazy somebody will write that. I'm gonna let these noisy ladies that just particularly want to walk right behind me and be as loud as they possibly could get by. Thank you, ladies. So, like I said, long story short, this whole thing with women popping out the mouth and all this stuff online, it's gotta cease, guys, because that continues. Where's the culture going? You have black people and Latin people, like I said, that are out here deliberately just starting shit with their own people, but scared to start shit with whites. And more people should start bringing up that question. I've seen Kwame bring it up. I've seen a lot of other bloggers bring it up right now, and more people should start bringing it up. If you're gonna fuck with your own people, how come you're not over there fucking with far right-wingers on their channels? How come you're not fucking with neo-Nazis? What, you scared? And the answer is plain simply yes. These people would rather have shit keep on going on in their own neighborhoods around them and living around them and all the dangers that come with it, rather than rising up against the motherfuckers they should. And I'll say it again, Derek Chauvin in that sentencing today, every rapper, every black activist, all them black bloggers should have been out there if they could afford it, especially if you're taking as many donations as you have from people. So that's all I got to say about that, guys. Feel free to donate. You know where the links are. And other than that, I will see y'all tomorrow. And I'll probably throw some more stuff later on as the time goes out throughout the night or whatever that I need to get rid of my fucking phone anyway. So, guys, have a good night. I will talk to you tomorrow. Links in the description and also in the pinned comment. God bless. Stay up.